we don't have to. We can go like this. Okay, so now today we're going to do a it used to be popular when I was growing up. I'm not sure anymore. It's called a 7-Up cake. You're going to need a yellow cake mix, just like this, not the butter type, just the regular classic yellow. So you're going to need that. You need to get that in your bowl. You're going to need a box of lemon pudding. And this is what it looked like. Okay. And I need to get a whisk and make sure all the lumps are out. Real quick. Just really quick. It's not, you know, you don't have to do this, but I like to just get it done. So right now, the only things in here is your cake mix and your lemon pudding. You kind of just mix those together. Okay. And next, we are going to have to beat it with a mixer. Let me get my mixer set up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so got my mixer ready. I just used one of my little hand mixers. You could use a stand mixer, that's fine. I do have one, I just didn't want to drag it out for this simple little cake. So now you do not use the directions on the box for the cake mix, so you need to remember that. We need to add 4 eggs. I'm going to go ahead and just put them all in. And what I like to do is just stir this just a little bit before I use that mixer to kind of weigh down some of these particles in this bowl so they won't fly everywhere. So just mix that together. Okay. And then we'll start mixing. Alrighty, so we're not done yet. We can let that just kind of sit there and drain off. The next 2 items are 3/4 of a cup of oil. Let me get that ready for you real quick. 3/4 of a cup. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And your 7-Up, which is also 3/4 of a cup. Now, the girl that did this particular recipe, which is not the one I typically use, says to stir the rest of this in here. Let me see how I'm gonna get this to pour here. So you need 3/4 of a cup of 7-Up. 1, 2, and 3. It is fizzing up a little. Okay. So even though we use this to get our eggs combined, she's saying to stir it the rest of the way. We got to stir to combine. It's a little bit difficult to do it by hand. I'm going to try to find other neat little cake ideas and show y'all. I've already got another one planned that you're going to love. So you need to stay tuned. over the next few months, because we're going to try to find you some unusual little things or cakes or pies that are from years ago to, you know, bring back to today's time and show you what our mothers and grandmothers did. Okay, I got my whisk out to try to help get some of these lumps out. You're probably not going to get them all out. That's okay. And this will have a glaze that I'll make that goes over it. And I'll show you how to do that. Alright, let me get this in the oven. You'll need to put it in a greased bundt pan. And she says it needs to bake for 325 degrees and bake it for about 45 minutes. Okay, so cake out of the oven. And it popped out perfectly, thank God. But it's still got to cool. And then as soon as it's done cooling, we're going to put that glaze on it. The glaze is going to be a mixture of powdered sugar, milk, and lemon juice. And then we'll put that on top, but we need to let it cool just a little while because this hasn't been out of the oven long. Okay, so to make this glaze for our 7-Up cake, which is basically a lemon cake, you need 1 cup of powdered sugar. You are going to need a tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm sure that you could use fresh if that's all you had. I'm sure it doesn't matter. And 4 tablespoons of milk. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now it's best to take a whisk and whisk the sugar before you put anything in it to help get the lumps out. Okay. Now, it doesn't say so on the recipe or in the recipe, but if you need to thicken it just a little, you're going to put some more powdered sugar in it. But don't do that much at a time. You know, don't put another half a cup in there. It's not gonna go well. A little bit at a time. I would probably do like a teaspoon at a time to get the consistency, or even less. This is supposed to be like a glaze. It needs to be thinner. You probably add more milk, but do little bits at a time. That's the key. All right, let's see. It is kind of thin. I'm going to put just a little couple pinches. And the more you do stuff like this, where you make homemade icings, glaze, and stuff like that, you'll get a feel for what you need for it to look like, feel like, you know, the whole thing. Okay. All right. It's a little bit thicker. Okay. And she, you know, in the recipe didn't say to do anything in particular. I was just going to take the spoon and kind of go over it, but we don't have to. We can go like this. It's gonna be okay.